Okay, boom. We are back
Yes,
with PT. Greetings, PT, and honor once again.
yes.
How are you?
Nice to be here to clarify, as always. Yeah,
It's what we're trying to do to put a bit more clarity on certain topics. Of
yes,
now, we have chosen technology, science, and art. So, science, arts, and technology, whatever. But
yeah.
that's it. Today, I would like to finish maybe with the human body, like I told you.
Right,
But there's
right.
still a few things I would like to talk about. And the first one is the breakfast. How important it is to have a good breakfast, at what time. Like, there's lots of information going around, people suggesting all kinds of stuff. So I would like to
Yeah,
have your input on that, on the breakfast and the fast
yeah,
also. How
yeah.
important is it to fast? We're not meant to eat constantly all day. So all this, how we should approach this.
So yeah, it the breakfast by the term means breaking the fast. So you have a fast. Fast is like your last meal in the night, before like sleeping, and then the whole sleep, and then so it's like 8-10 hours, and it can be 12 hours for some people, because if you eat like early, around 7:30, 8 in the evening, 7:30, then, and if you eat only after 7:38 in the morning, there's 12 hours already, okay, of eating nothing. Okay, so that's why it's called a fast and break it. Now what I would suggest to people is that they should not eat too late in the evening. Mostly it's good. As a general rule, it's a general rule. Some people might eat later and might suit their bodies and systems, but there's a general rule. And the basic rule for breaking the fast, actually, in the morning, is that when you're hungry, when you're actually hungry, eat when you're actually hungry. When, and that might be different every day. You might not feel hungry at the same time
Yeah.
every day. Okay, so there might be differences, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. So you break the fast when you are hungry, when you are actually hungry. Okay, then that's when you break the fast. Okay, so that's my, and
And
that can happen
and
quickly for some
hungry is
people.
not.
After waking up, within 15 minutes, half an hour, they want to eat. Okay, some people after waking up don't want to eat for 1 hour, 2 hours, or anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is different for different body types, constitutions, but the signal for everyone is hunger. Okay, no matter who the person is. Okay, so only break the fast once you are actually hungry, but don't let it go to too much hunger as well. You know, at the first starting points of hunger. Okay, not like allow yourself to get too hungry. Do you know what I'm saying? So that is the right way to break the fast. Like,
I was gonna tell you that's it. It's not to wait till you pass out and have a headache and stuff. Like it's when you feel you're hungry.
yeah,
That's what
the
you
starting
should.
points, body gives you signals, like starts giving you
Yeah,
signals. Okay,
yeah,
like I'm getting hungry now. Like, okay, that's so that's the point. And not to overeat
good.
in the first. When you're hungry, like even like first meal, don't overeat in the first one. Keep it lighter. Eat only as much as your hunger when your hunger finishes. Okay, so that's,
Yeah,
and then it's an important for the first meal. Okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah. There's always something I wondered also if there was benefit to this, but during the Ramadan they fast during the whole day and they eat at night. Like, is it something that
I'm
should be practiced, or
no.
what's your opinion on that?
There are extreme things. There are a lot of extreme things in this world, and that is one of them. A lot of the fast point is this: whenever you feel hungry, you should eat. Okay, that's the right thing, but don't overeat. That's all. Okay, whenever
Yeah,
you're thirsty, drink.
yeah,
Okay,
that too. Same
but
thing,
don't
same principle.
overdrink. But don't overdrink. But whenever you're
Yeah,
thirsty, drink. You know, like you might feel thirsty many different times of day, different times, then keep on drinking little bits, which can be water, fluids, juices, soups, all kinds of things. All are liquids. Okay. So eat when you are hungry, drink when you are thirsty, but don't overdo. That's the best. Okay. Rather than doing extreme things that eating a whole lot, okay, then fasting for a huge amount of time. All of this extremism is not good
Yeah, 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 yeah.
for the. I mean, then people take fast all day and then they have like a huge meal in the night and then they're eating
Yeah.
all night and going crazy. I mean, that's nothing which is doing good, any good to your system, body system at all. Okay. So, yeah.
And extremism, you said also like drink when you're thirsty. So if you sit down at night and drink 12 beer or
Yeah.
whatever it is you need to quench your thirst,
Yeah.
that's a bit extreme too. Like if you drink beer, I think one should be enough. Like
Yeah. But the beer doesn't quench thirst anyways. Beer increases
no,
thirst.
I'm just giving an example, but
Yeah, but any kind of liquid, but beer increases thirst actually. But what I'm saying is any kind of fluid, which is like water, juices, soups, I said like any kind of liquid drink, you know, one should drink whenever one is thirsty, So
and
that's
should alcohol be completely avoided? I don't think I ever asked you that question. I don't remember. I'm
okay.
talking
Okay.
about beer.
Yeah,
Should alcohol
alcohol.
be completely avoided?
Okay, alcohol is a tincture in the
I
olden
think you told
way.
me that in the past.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tincture
yeah,
means like it's a medicine carrier. Like people used to put herbs
yeah, yeah. You told me
in
that.
little that things and they used to put that thing so it goes into the system and reaches body parts quickly. But now if it has become something for becoming getting out of it, oh, like I mean and that time it is done in little amounts. Okay,
Yeah.
like Jim saying, it's a tincture. So I mean
Okay.
anything can be misused, you know like uh, and it has been misused now as a pacifier or as something to get out of it, and people have turned
Yeah.
it into that. So that's and then it becomes an addiction, then it becomes craziness. The whole point is not what it is. you know from a medicinal point of view, it becomes a problem for you basically. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What about raw meat? It's a hype that's going a lot. People are eating. I'm sure that's not in your daily habits, PT, to eat raw meat. But I would like to have your opinion on that.
Yeah.
People they eat organs. Even like
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
some
like
stuff.
like we spoke before, right? Like I said, people should stick to vegetarianism until absolutely necessary. Okay, until
That
their place doesn't grow no food
that
whatsoever,
okay.
like plants or
Okay.
any kind of seeds or any kind of fruits or these kind of things. Now, the people who are having this kind of fad, which is again another kind of extremism, you know, because people have this extreme thing that this all turn like I'm gonna have fruit juice only, or I'm gonna have spirulina only. Okay, two, I'm gonna have raw meat. It's like this side of the spectrum to that side of the spectrum. It's like yo-yo of
Yeah.
this kind of. And obviously human body firstly is not meant for digesting that. It doesn't have that things. We don't have the stomachs like carnivores like lions or tigers, who beings which eat raw meat. They have totally different stomach structure, like, and everything like that, which humans don't have. So obviously it's just ridiculous stuff. All of this stuff is very ridiculous. All of this extreme ridiculous stuff, and it keeps on happening because people don't want to come to the center, to the middle, to common sense. That's all. They just don't want. They want to go like from one extreme to the other. Jim saying either raw food, like a fruitarian, to a raw meat like this. it
Yeah.
it, it is it is craziness one way or the other. Like it's just not logical, sensible, reasonable, nothing. And it's not backed by any actual reality. you know so
But people will change the truth instead of changing their own perspective. So that's what happened, eh? So
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fads which are created to fool people. Like it's just a fad, which is just
like many
like
others.
somebody says like, okay, I mean, then they should look at the things like, I mean, it's even though animals which do that, they have totally different digestive systems and totally different thing than human beings. So how can it be applied to human beings? I mean, it's just not, you know. I mean, if you're stuck somewhere in the tundra and you have to fish and you can't even make a fire, then you might have to survive, eat raw fish, and then that might be uh, just for survival tactic, you know. But that's about it, like it's not something a being can do day in day out for no rhyme or reason, like, so
Exactly.
yeah,
And there's only humans making making factories out there of
yeah,
slaughtering animals and stuff. I don't see lions, pride of lion doing this and stuff. So
yeah,
they
yeah,
kill. If they kill, it's for
yeah.
survival. Like
And they're not breeding those animals in in some cages,
yeah,
like a mass
no,
manufacturing of extra animals, like, and things like that, which is not.
no, they go kill it in the wild.
Yeah, and then the nature has grown, like growing those, and their populations are not artificial; they are natural populations.
It's a
And
natural population. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, what about taking naps? A lot of people believe in taking nap. Like I think if you sleep enough, but again, it depends on your age because when you're young, I think you sleep in the afternoon. When you're
mm.
old, like should we take naps? Like
Okay.
or just
Again,
listen to our body or
the same principle which I said for eating and drinking, same principle applies to naps. If you're tired and you really feel like it, anytime you should take it, but no, not to overdo it. When you take it only for that time which is required. Okay, not to overdo the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? At any time. So if anybody is tired and that thing, they should take a nap. But then take it for that limited amount of time. Don't get lazy.
that's
Like
a
once you're,
power nap. Like you
yeah,
go rest for an hour
yeah,
and boom,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
back
yeah.
on.
That's fine. That's all that is fine. It's allowed for human beings. You know, eat when you're hungry, drink when you're thirsty, and nap when you're like feeling tired. Like, so it's all commonsensical. Normal is all allowed, and it's all fine for the human body. It's nothing. There's no problem. And obviously, sleep patterns, as you grow older, you need less sleep, and these kind of things keep on happening. And accordingly, you keep on adjusting as your age, with your work. Different people have different kinds of works, so they need different kinds of like that thing. So
It's just because sometimes we have the mentality that time is money. I shouldn't waste my time sleeping and this and that. Like
then
so,
you
you end up functioning overtired sometime because you don't listen to your body. So yeah,
then you are harming your body, like
you're
then
harming yourself.
you're harming yourself, your body, and then your functionality also while you are awake will reduce. You're not
Exactly.
going to be that productive while you're awake.
You're
So
unfocused.
yeah,
You're
unfocused, and all
yeah,
kinds of things will happen. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, now the psychological side of us. This is big. I think it's gonna take quite a few minutes to go through what I have here. But first of all, I would like to talk about addictions because that's part of the psychological, and a lot of people. I think we're all addicted to something. If it's not the screens, phones, it's
yes, yes,
substances. It's
yes.
like there's
uh,
always something out there to hook us to like there's so many temptation also, so it's
right.
hard at one point to manage and to master our emotion to navigate through all this. So do you
Yeah.
have a
so
way to
so
approach this that can help
so
us?
so that's why we have been given this great technology, the best technology on earth called human body, like, which I keep on saying that it's the technology aspect of that. So this body, using this body in the right way, in the reasonable way, in the sensible way, can take care of all psychological mental things. So if you are using the body, for doing centering, grounding, and all those things, which I always keep on talking about. And if you are balancing everything, like diet, everything you're balancing in your life, your work, and everything, you know, which I call as 1, 2, 3. People can see my videos on 1, 2, 3. I call three things which humans need to do on Earth. People can see those. And but like there is a way, like if you control this body, okay, you will control your psychology as well, because you can't control psychology directly by going into the mind, okay, but by controlling the body you will control any psychological thing. Like addiction, for example, I said like lack of proper diction, diction,
Diction.
negative of diction, is negative in English of the diction. So if your speech is proper, you know that goes a long way in curing all kinds of addiction, which is like magic, right? You speak properly and say the right things. Speak from the center. Speak pure principles. Say the right things. Don't speak nonsense. And suddenly you find your addictions are going away. Like, so the amount of, I mean, so it's like magic, right? Like, so body, even speech, which is one part of body's discipline, posture, facial discipline, and speech. There's three types of discipline, and the speech discipline can do so much for human beings that their addictions start going away. So human body has everything is there in human body. Like basically, it's like a machine. If you use properly, you can fix anything, internal, psychological. So it's a very advanced and very nice tool, basically, to get to any kind of thing. And it's simple. It's not that complicated to control the body. It's not that. It's much more tougher to go into the mental thing and think and get caught up there and come up with 100,000 things. you know but controlling the body is an easier way, and it's available to all human beings. Everyone has a body, and they can you know do the right thing with it.
But
So
addiction is very, very strong because people prefer to die than change their habit sometimes. So
yeah, but
this
again,
is very strong. So,
yeah, it's because
and a lot of people feel powerless towards
because
addiction, like they
because
cannot
where,
overcome it. And
because where's the education? Like right now on the ground level in school, there's no education of diction. When people learn a language, they're not taught proper diction in any language. Now you are going to school for 12 years, okay, and not learning proper diction. So you reach the age 17, 18, okay. Now if you had done that, then you can control anything after the age of 18. Now people haven't had any proper diction, so when they reach that 17, 18 age, they will fall prey to something or the other. It's just normal, okay. And then they don't have any process to bring it back and reel it back in. you know they're not, nobody is coming telling them, look, you have to work on your diction, work on your speech. you know there is
it's
no such thing anywhere in the world right now. you know
so
so
with proper discipline, proper diction from a
yeah,
young age,
yeah,
like you cannot fall prey to all the traps in Babylon. Like
yeah,
there's a
yes,
lot.
yes. And if, even if you reach any age and you start diction from that age or start learning and applying from that age, even, again, you won't fall. But you have to do that work. There's a work with the human body, which is speech, repetitions, proper diction, repeating the pure principles. All that has to be done. There's no way out of that. Okay, it's like once you're taken the human body, and if you don't do that work, then there is trouble. Like, that. So it's all very clear. Like, so that's why in education systems, if it's a real education system from the very beginning, the whole focus. would be on that, on diction, and speech, and obviously posture, and then speech. It has to be there. There's no way out of it. That's why nothing, like even people go to, like they're drug addicts. Okay, they go to a rehab, okay, center. Okay, they leave it for a bit. Okay, 2 3 2 3 months they went to rehab, came out of it. It was all good for a while. A year later, they relapse. It's again the same thing, because you're dealing with the surface, but you didn't do the root diction thing still. So it can come back anytime, and then after diction thing comes goal and purpose. If somebody wants their well-being, and they say, I want my well-being, and they're saying that, okay, then they'll automatically, just by repeating that, even, people will know that drugs are not for their well-being. Okay, so once you repeat that enough through proper diction, it goes into your consciousness, and you will not take the drugs anymore yourself, because the internal voice will be too strong that this is not for my well-being. Okay, so there are ways to do this, but they're just not in force or in action anywhere around the world. Complete lack of education in regards to
And
diction.
when you talk about education, is as much as education at home and
Yeah,
education, public education also, like it
yeah,
should be, because you cannot try to do something with your children at home, but then they go into the world and your voice might get drowned a little bit.
yeah.
I'm being polite.
Yeah,
so
yes, yeah, yes,
so
but yes, so it is outside everywhere, and
so
internally, home, outside, everywhere. But the focus is not on diction anywhere at all. Like that speech is important in any way, and what you're speaking and how you're speaking it and what you're saying, nothing is important, and that is very important. It can cure so many things, but just there is no speech diction center. Do you see a diction center anywhere in Canada? In the
no,
whole of Canada, is there a diction center? Like, okay,
no, no.
is there a speech and diction center in all of? There's none. You won't find it in no country. You find this center in this world right now. Okay, which should be everywhere. Even schools should be speech and diction centers. In the beginning, people are taught alphabet. Okay, A B C D, A for apple, B for this thing, and all of that when they're speaking all of those things, right? So, with kids, what are they teaching them? Like how to say that properly, not just say that, but there is no, as long as you say it any which way, it's okay. And afterwards, things which make sense, when you make sentences from words, then when your sentences should make any sense, they should have something to do with the universe, something to do with the reality, something to do with actual stuff, not just gobbledygook, like which means like just nonsensical stuff which has no meaning whatsoever, you know and so like these kind of things where you are speaking things that I'll do this for myself, I want to go, I want to evolve, I want to go higher, I want to do good for myself. All of these things are like things which have to be spoken by humans. They are not just understood. It's not like a mental concept, and humans have been given speech for that reason. So that is the most developed part of human body. This machine is speech. So
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah, definitely.
which takes it away from, like, separates it from the other animal bodies. Their technology and human body technology, what's the main difference?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speech. And the
And
biggest
it's
technological
needed.
yeah, biggest technological difference, there's no work on that. You're not utilizing it. And if you don't utilize it, you become like in a worse state than animal. Because, and the thing with animals is, at least they don't have that kind of free will which humans have. Okay, so they are still tied into the natural system. But now you have free will and you're not utilizing it, then you're gonna do much worse than animals, right? So that's what's happening. you know you could do much better than them, but now you're doing much worse than them,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So
and it's why we have to teach the children young. I saw, I think it's Ankita. She has a school with children. I saw a video anyway. She was showing them how to
yes,
meditate and
yeah,
stuff. And
yeah,
I was finding that remarkable. I'm like,
yes,
there should be those school
yes,
everywhere.
yes,
Like
yes,
they teach them to be patient also, not just because we're so taught to rush all the time, and it's even taught to us in school, rush for the exam, rush for this. Like there's always some kind of a fast pace everywhere. So when you teach children to
yeah.
meditate, it must impact them
I mean,
tremendously,
I'm
I'm
saying
sure.
at any age, you can start from any age. Right now, with the current system, you can start from any age, but you have to start doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? You, whatever the age is, it does not matter anymore. Like, because the system is what it is, so people have to do it from whatever age. You know, uh, because with kids also, like right now, it's hard to get them to go in that direction because that's not the general educational flow of things as a whole. So it's very hard to, like, if it's organized in that way where every day they're doing that and that is the school. But right now parents will not let kids just do that. They
No.
want the other school too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the problem lies. Like, it is a thing where everybody has to do these things, like, continuously, even when you're conscious, you know above the age of 18 you're conscious, and you're an adult, and you can take responsibility for your own actions, and then at that time at least you should do it. And that at that time, you know even before, because before that you are under your parents and you might have to do things as per them, or whatever the case may be. So, like, even at least adults should do that kind of thing. Yeah,
And is a proper diction also comes with we should be thinking before we speak, like you said, to have proper speech and stuff. Like I think that's something we should really teach to children in school, is to think before they speak, so what come out is not verbal diarrhea, and it means something
and
behind
not even thinking,
word,
like,
but
I mean, kids have to be given the right sentences to speak, and those right sentences have to be wise sentences, because they won't know what is the right sentence or what is good for them or not good for them. They're not conscious enough for that. you know like
yeah,
a
yeah,
kid
yeah,
can't come up with, I want my well-being. you know it might not even know it's a being. Okay, like, first it has to be told, I'm a being, you know and I'm not this body, I'm this being, I'm in this thing. Like, so these are the facts which they have to repeat. Okay, and then understand and get that. Like,
so
so,
we're repeating the wrong stuff.
yeah, yeah. So psychological problems will
Definitely.
happen for sure anyways. you know so you're not being in reality. The reality is that you are a being, you're a spirit, you are inside this human body, and that's all reality. Like, but for them, they should, reality should be there. That's what school is for, telling you reality of what it is. This is earth, you have this is all stuff they should repeat at the time. What is worth repeating is reality first, and then what you want for yourself as a being second, and then pure principles of this universe, because that somebody has to tell them these are the pure principles. So so after that, repetition, so that thing goes into your consciousness and you're able to act by it. That becomes your life's action. So, yeah,
Another big question: do you think we can come to our emotional mastery? Because I don't think there's no human, maybe some don't think of it, they're too busy doing other things, but the ones that want to achieve uh, emotional mastery, do you think
yeah,
by applying the principle you're saying, proper
yeah,
diction and stuff, we can come to an
yeah.
emotional mastery? And I'm
Obviously,
talking really becoming a master.
Yeah, emotional mastery. Yeah, psychological mastery, emotional mastery is the same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Emotions
same
are
thing.
part
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
psychology. Like they are the same thing. And you can have, if by doing these practices, you can have psychological emotional mastery for sure, 100%. Using the human body the right way, especially speech, you'll definitely gain psychological emotional mastery. And human lifespan is more than enough time to do it. More than enough time.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I could bring you on other topics, but maybe we'll come back on that, like the stress and anxiety and all these emotion that
Yes.
we have a hard time managing sometimes.
Yes.
But we'll keep that for the next one, and we will be back like around 21st of March, maybe a bit before, maybe around that time, because I got to do some renovation here, so we'll be
Yes.
out
Yes.
offline for a bit.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we will be back with PT sometime in
Yes.
March. So just the
Yes.
ones that are listening and wondering
Yes.
when will be the next TruMon show. That's it.
Yes.
With spring, we're gonna spring back with spring with PT.
Right.
Good.
Yes.
Large up,
See you
PT.
then.
We are out. See ya. Large up, everyone.